Hello friends, please like, subscribe and share our channel. Ready? 3, 2, 1, start. Against the above consolidated order of the appellate controller and against for more like orders passed by him, the petitioner preferred revision petitions to the Government of India stop. The government disposed for all the matters by its consolidated order dated 26/3/1979 after examining the records and giving a personal hearing stop. So far as the old Section 4 was concerned, it was pointed out the wholesale cost price had to be the accessible value provided it was a genuine one. Stop. In this case, the sale price to the agents could not be taken as the genuine wholesale cost price. It was only the price at which the agents sold to wholesalers that could be taken into account for that purpose. Stop. However, it was not the highest price that should be taken, but the price which is obtained nearest to the factory gate. Stop. To this extent, the appellate order was modified. Stop. Regarding the post-October 1975 prices, it was pointed out that the agents being related persons, the sale price to them had to be ignored. Stop. Here, it was only the normal price that would be relevant. This was the price at which the goods are in fact ordinarily sold by the agents to the various dealers. Stop. It was held that under the new section, no deduction for post-manufacturing expenses would be permissible. Stop. Only actual freight could be allowed under subsection 2, but this would not cover the equalized freight claim made by the petitioner. Stop. In the light of these findings, it was directed as in respect of the earlier period that not the highest price but the price at which the agent who sold the goods nearest to the factory in the course of wholesale trade markets the goods should be taken as the accessible value. Stop. Para. The petitioner has filed CW 980/79 challenging the correctness of the above determination of the central government. Stop. The other petitions arise in like circumstances and raise the same issues. Stop. Para. The act passed in 1944 was declared by its preamble to have been intended to consolidate and amend the law relating to central duties of the excise on goods manufactured or produced in British India. Now certain parts of India, leaving out the reference to salt, which is irrelevant for our present purposes. Stop. It may be mentioned here that the legislative competence in this respect was derived in so far as the imposition of excise duties was concerned from item 45 of list 1 of the 7th schedule to the Government of India Act 1935. Stop. Item 45 referred to above, which now finds its counterpart in item 84 in the Union Legislative List appended to the Constitution of India, reads duties of excise on tobacco and other goods manufactured or produced in India except. Stop. Para. Section 3 of the Act, which has been held to be the charging section, directs by subsection 1 that there shall be levied and collected in such manner as may be prescribed duties of excise on all excisable goods other than salt which are produced or manufactured in India at the rates set forth in the first schedule. Stop. Under subsection 2 of this section, the central government may, by notification in the official gazette, fix for the purpose of levying the said duties tariff values of any articles enumerated either specifically or under general headings in the first schedule as chargeable with duty ad valorem and may alter any tariff values for the time being in force. Section 4 prior to its amendment ran thus. Stop. Thank you for watching.